Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about the Spin Masters PlayStation series, Aloy from Horizon. Now, I gotta say, I sat down, I've played with this. This is actually my second time doing a video. I pronounced her name wrong. But the reason why I'm bringing you this is because what's crazy is this is one of those toys that I didn't expect to be as good as it is, and it really does feel like a deluxe figure. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you get to the articulation part, you guys are going to be like, oh, but yeah. First off, just look at how good this face sculpt is. Again, I have not played the game yet, and that's probably why I ended up pronouncing her name wrong, and I felt horrible about that. But I gotta say outright, this is one of the better face sculpts that I've seen on a figure. And then when we get to articulation, which we're going to talk about now, it's one of those figures where what it does works really well, and it really sets the figure apart in a lot of ways, right? So, as far as first of all, the hair articulation is really nice. We have our separate ball joints here. So as you can see, we can rotate it out, as well as having joints here for the hair on the outside. So you have a lot of different ways that you can sit there and do articulation, especially for action-oriented scenes, flow of hair, things like that. And I love that they actually took the time to make that work. We can set our arms up into a T-pose, actually get even higher, make a little Y, and we have shoulder pads that move out of the way, that nice soft plastic. There is a single joint that rotates at the forearm, as well as she has bicep swivel. So that means oh, by the way, also a butterfly joint. And it's really beautiful because when you want to sit down and pose up a figure like this, or make it look and function a certain way, as you can see here, it feels more natural. Even with our waist area, we have a robust way of rotating this figure around. Then we can have it backwards and reverse ab joint and a killer forward ab crunch. These are all of the things that kind of make me realize, like, man, we've been missing out on really good figures with all it takes is just a little bit of extra effort. And I feel like that was really put in here. With the legs, we can rotate out. We have our soft plastic here. This can actually rotate back and forth so you can move it out of your way. That way you can do a full-blown split. We have thigh swivel. We don't have any drop down, but you don't have to really worry about that because the figure itself actually can kick all the way up, right? We have a beautiful double joint. We have a leg joint that slightly moves forward and backwards and rotates beautifully and has a toe hinge. So again, like I said, this is one of those figures that I can gently have a great time just kind of posing her up in a lot of nice, various different ways, and it'll look good. So you have like a hunter stance. We can do a 3/4 point stance, right? So let's say we were crouching or hunting or sneaking. Look how easy it is to sit down and pose this figure up. It's utterly beautiful. And things like this really, really like make the mark. So let's say I want to take something like this, like a little, and we want to just do a crouching behind little hide pose, right? We can even make the hands look natural, kind of pose it up. Look at that. It's utterly beautiful. And it's stuff like that that really matters to me personally with articulation, because you've made it look good functionality wise. It's really spectacular. Now, we are going to get into accessories. Let's jump into it. Now we're going to talk about our accessories. First up, we're going to do her spear / lance, depending on how you look at it history wise, right? It's beautifully colored, looks really, really good. Also has a small dash point here. And that's going to be because on this side of the figure, on the backhand side, you should have a port that you can technically tab into. And the reason why that's pretty cool is because you'll also get another option. Let's actually let her sit there and cook very well. You'll also get her bow. The bow also has a way that you can plug in the port if you want to put it on her back. Actually has a real drawstring. And the reason why that's cool is because you can actually place the arrow on the said drawstring. So on this side, you'll have a small indentation where you can actually pop the arrow in to tab in, lock in on our drawstring, and now you actually can use that. And yes, it does shoot. I do not wish to shoot it right now because I don't want to lose that arrow. Speaking of arrows, you'll also get a quiver, beautifully. This is going to tab in on her backhand side. See it right there? You'll be able to just tab that in with no issue. If you feel like you do have issues, you can just gently heat it up. But since it's summertime, the plastic should be soft enough. Well, yeah, it's summertime. Then you'll get a slew of hands. On her now, I have a open palm relax hand and a fist hand for left and right, but you'll also get a dedicated holding hand. You'll also get a arrow holding hand. So one hand will be for the spear. Then you'll get one more closed fist for the right hand side. You'll also get a spear holding hand for the right hand side that you got for the left hand side. Then you get a follow-up relax hand for your left hand side for there, as well as this is going to be your draw. This is one that draws the bow right here. This is probably one of the best hands for it. Now we're going to get into faceplates, and I feel like because she comes with so many nice ones, it's hard to choose, so I'm going to try to choose my favorite here. Here we have our shocked sculpt. I really like the paint that they decided to use for these. I feel like they render and look really, really good. I don't know what kind of face tech print they use, but I am very, very impressed by it. Next up, we have a smiling sculpt. This generally looks like a person smiling and you just took off the rest of the face. This looks like a genuine real face, which is terrifyingly good. Then we have our standard sculpt, which has a nice little smirk with her looking over to her left-hand side, which is our right-hand side. Then we have our yelling sculpt. Last but not least, and I think this is probably going to be my favorite because of the way it's painted, it's going to be this sculpt. And the reason why that is because you can see where the face paint ends and her skin tone does come in. And I feel like that level of kind of realism is really cool. Like for instance, there's this sculpt here that you see. What's really cool is taking the faceplate off, and to show you a quick example, popping this plate in, and it actually does, like it genuinely does make the character look and feel different. And I like that. Like if I took this away and I tried the shocked sculpt, or the shocked like face, it genuinely brings character to the character. And that's something that I think is really, really cool. Look at that. So yeah, this is one of those figures that I am genuinely impressed by. And it's hard because normally I try to, but this one kind of blew me away, especially for a game that I haven't played yet. It makes me want to play the game. It's kind of like how I got into stuff like Warhammer, or even how I got into stuff like Kamen Rider. These are the kind of things that you buy a piece of merch from it, and it makes you understand why you would want to go and play that. So it's a good example here. With that all being said though, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to try to do something a little different here at the end of this video, which is going to look cool at the end. Try to throw in some bonus content at the end. We'll see what it is. So as always, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.